since I was a kid, I've been the G. If I was your wife, what could I want? I'm so tired of her body. She just won't want it. Ever since I was a G, I've been the G. She never know she wanna be.
Good evening everyone and welcome back to the Broadcasting Lounge. We are live for round 6 of the Supercars NZ MRP GT3 Championship, and tonight we are coming to you from the world famous Hockenheimring, a track that is as historic as it is challenging and one that always delivers top tier GT3 action. With its long straights, heavy braking zones and that tight technical stadium section, Hockenheimring is a true all-round test for our drivers. Precision and patience will be key tonight, but don't be surprised if we see a few daring moves into the hairpin as drivers push for every last point. The championship battle is well and truly alive. We've seen consistency from the front runners, breakout performances from the midfield, and plenty of drama along the way. As we head into the final stretch of the season, every result counts, and round 6 could prove to be a turning point. My name's Shane White, and it's great to have you with us once again for another night of sim racing action here on the Broadcasting Lounge. Joining me in the lounge, as always, is Corey Kitchen. Corey, Hockenheim's known for creating some incredible racing. What are you expecting from tonight's field?
Yeah, Shane, this is one of those circuits that encourages close battles. So the slipstream effect down those straights is going to be massive. So how tight's the championship? Well, it's pretty tight. As I was just saying to you before, a couple of points in between second and third at the moment, and they're pretty close. And apparently Stefan's just chilling. He's sitting on pole position, so not bad for him. Yeah, this track definitely going to be full of few surprises, I reckon. We're going to see maybe a new winner, someone who hasn't won tonight, maybe. I don't know, just feeling something different, Shana.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Corey. The grid is forming up, the lights are ready, and we are about to go racing. This is round 6 of the Supercars NZ MRP GT3 Championship live from Hockenheimring, right here on the Broadcasting Lounge. And we can get into the information for tonight's racing there. We can see the track map on the right hand side of that graphic. 21 degree air temperature out there, 63% humidity and clear skies, so sun baking down on the track. That will bring the track temperature up, but I think we're fairly early in the day in sim time by the look of the light levels out there, so I think we should be relatively cool track temperatures to start, but that is only going to push down with that sun baking down on the track.
Oh yeah, the sun. But yeah, F1 circuit. So you're a big fan of them sorts of circuits, aren't you, Shana?
Yeah, I am. I've been following F1 for a long time, since the late 90s and into the early 2000s. I witnessed all that Schumacher domination, and that time when I started racing, this was a very famous circuit, but with the old layout where they blasted off into the forest, sort of behind the direction that our blimp camera's facing right now. Blasted through there, through some tight little chicanes, and then super high speeds down the straight and into that stadium section. Where now it's all a little bit different. Still plenty of high speed action on that tight hairpin at the top, and a modernised layout, but still equally as exciting. Qualifying just wrapping up now. We've got Stefan McCartan taking pole position, and as it ticks over into the warm-up, that jumbles up the order, but we will be able to run through the grid once they do line up. But we've got a 5-minute warm-up in the meantime to get through.
So just the one race tonight?
Yeah, single race, 45 minutes.
45?
Looks like they're not
Yeah.
going to have enough fuel to get through 45 minutes, so we are expecting everybody to have to come in and get some fuel. You can see Taylor Mitchell out on track in the warm-up getting those final cider laps in on race fuel. I'm sure it would have been low fuel in qualifying, and now you'll have fuel added back into the car. And maybe the car not feeling too good under heavy fuel as he loses control trying to get some temperature into the tyres there, and heavy into the barrier.
Yeah, few Audis making the trek tonight. Actually, there's 4 of them in the top 10 at the moment. 5 of them in the top 11, if we wanted to go that way. But we haven't seen that many Audis, so that's interesting that is the weapon of choice. Anthony Green on screen, KRF Motorsports, loving his Aston Martin with a little bit of the traditional green on there for a nice little touch.
And apparently this week he's racing from the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Well, he did mention he was going to change that from wherever he was before. He gets a bit of a laugh out of it when we talk about it on stream too. So, yeah, he's a good old bugger. Racing with one eye, just for something interesting there.
Yeah, I do remember you mentioning that a few weeks ago, and yeah, always great humour from Ants, messing around with his home country in the SDK driver app, where all our drivers can jump in and update their information. And always entertaining to see which country Ants has chosen for his country of residence for each race.
Yeah, it must be something in the water in Lebanon, I reckon.
I don't know much about Lebanon. I do know there's a place there where they recycle old wheelie bins and use them in the manufacturing process for making little covers, or not little covers, but covers that go over underground wiring.
Oh, okay. That is a good little bit of Kiwi ingenuity, though, isn't it?
It is.
Kiwis are
And
great for that.
my useless fact about Levin for the day.
But at least one. At least one. Stay tuned for more interesting facts about towns in New Zealand.
So a couple of minutes to go in the warm-up. Riley Boswell, new driver tonight to the league and out there in the Audi. Currently sitting third in the practice standings, although nobody has actually put a time down. Tell you what, we'll stick with Riley and we'll jump on board and we'll see if we can get through a lap. Oh no, he's going to come to the pits. I feel like Crompo right now.
That's probably a good person to be feeling like, I guess, in this industry anyway. Knows his stuff.
Well, he does, and he's very good at his job, but yeah, he does have bad luck with trying to do hot laps in practice, and they tend to say, oh, we're going to stick with this guy for a hot lap, and then he comes into the pits. So it could have been on Leith Swinny. He's just finished a lap, and now there's only 45 seconds left, so he's not going to get this next one done. Going up through the long, sweeping left-hander there, though, and in towards the hairpin. On the brakes just at the start of that curb, down the gears, using second gear there a lot, or probably car dependent. Some cars will need to go back to first gear to get around there, but the McLaren obviously preferring slightly higher gear. Up into fifth through that right-hander, flat out there, back on the brakes, down to second gear, into the left-hander. Plow it out onto the exit curve, bring it back across to the left, turn into the right-hander out of that section, and then we get pulled out of that